All right. Hello. Welcome back. All righty. So here is my new TAROTSCOPES for the month of Capricorn. And I will be doing these TAROTSCOPES based on the elements of the signs of the astrological chart. So for this episode here, I'm going to be focusing on the earth signs during the month of Capricorn, which is ruled by Earth, the element of Earth, and the planet of Saturn. So if you look at my previous video that I just did, I created a video where I gave a basic overview of Capricorn, its characteristics, the planetary rulership of that sign, which is Saturn, but also the house that it is associated with. Capricorn's associated with the 10th house of success, career, ambition, how we handle and get motivated towards those important parts of our lives, how we approach work. And then I also did a discussion, very briefly, of the tarot major arcana archetypes associated with Capricorn, primarily the devil and also the world card. The world card is associated with Saturn, so that can fall into Capricorn specifically because of the structure and the disciplinary way that Capricorn approaches things and what it takes to actually get to a certain level of success, how much work they put into it. So that Saturnian influence of Capricorn to represent that world card, I feel is very appropriate. But of course, there are different interpretations of the world card. But that's briefly what I talked about in that video, and you can take a look at that. And this applies to the energy for the earth signs, including Capricorn. And then after Capricorn, I'm going to be doing your reading, and then I will do Taurus, and then I will be doing Virgo. So I'm going to be covering all the different quadruplicities. So we're going to have, we're going to have the fixed sign for Taurus. We're going to have the cardinal sign for Capricorn. And then we're going to have the mutability sign of Virgo. And I'll explain those attributes very briefly for the reading. So basically, for Capricorn being cardinal, they are the initiators. The cardinal signs represent the beginning of each season, each new season that we go into, basically the equinoxes and the solstices. So we just had our winter solstice. So Capricorn rules particularly that season, the start of that season, and the energy that's needed during that time. And winter is a season where it's not so much hunkering down, we're now waxing. So our energy now needs to focus on the next few months as we get closer to spring. So Capricorn can be that influence for many of us when it comes to getting things going, especially as we enter the new year. People are changing. They want to let go of things. They want to start new. Everyone globally wants major changes to happen. So we can sort of use the guidance of Capricorn, a conservative, traditional way of doing things, keeping things very basic. When it comes to approaching certain situations, but putting all of their effort into it. That's what motivates Capricorn. So with that being said, the cardinal sign, starting off the season, happy birthday, Capricorn. I'm going to be pulling about 3 cards, and this is just general, just to get the feel of the month of Capricorn. So for all the signs, Taurus, Virgo, and all the other signs that I will be doing readings for in separate episodes. Capricorns start December 21st, and it goes into January 19th. So the reading that I'm doing here for all the astrological signs will represent that month. So it's the energy that you could focus on for that month. If you're working towards something, if there's changes that are going on, use the influence of Capricorn to help inspire you and potentially direct you to where you need to go. All right, here we go, Capricorn. So the deck that I'm going to be working with, I put away for a while, and then I grabbed it about a week ago, and I think it's time to start activating this deck. So I'm going to be working with the Lamina Tarot deck, which you'll see in a moment. All righty, so here, let's see what we have here for Capricorn. Okay, some of the elements associated with Earth is determination, being persistent, believing, determination towards something, practicality towards things, overindulging, but also we have to learn how to work with those limits. We don't want to push them too much. All right, so for the month of Capricorn, for the sign of Capricorn, this is my reading that I have here for you. Okay, and I'm going to take like a minute to look at the cards and just assess the energy that I get. Alrighty. Okay, so the first card that I pulled for Capricorn, I actually have 2 air signs and 1 major arcana sign, which is held in the element of fire. So this is interesting. I have here Capricorn, 10 of Swords. Okay, so as ominous and as not pleasant looking this card looks to you, this is whenever you get a 10, I feel, in a reading, that is the bell, if you will, to like, okay, let's move ahead. Let's change things. Let's change our perspectives. So here with our 10 of Swords, we have the vulture up top. Now, the characteristic of the vulture is actually, they're like the cleaner. Okay, so after there's a kill, after there's been an animal that has been killed, and whatever remains after it's been taken care of through nature, whatever's been broken down or eaten by other creatures, whatever remains, the vulture comes in and cleans everything down to the bone. A lot of people aren't aware of the power of the vulture. They're the ones that really finalize the final act of, cleaning up the remains of the animal. And it's also ecologically good because they keep this from putrefying after a while. If you are lucky enough to be in an area where there's vultures. But here, this is what we're seeing. We need to really remove the way that we've been seeing things. Okay, letting go of fear, the anxiety, which has been basically destroying us. And it's time to get to the crux of what's going on with this. Okay, Swords is a very hard card to contend with some people because it's dealing with our psyche, but at the conscious level, how we think and how we see things. And with this 10 of Swords, it's showing anybody, again, this is a reading for Capricorn. If you're having thoughts that are holding you back, that you feel are self-devouring you. Remember my previous video, I mentioned the devil. And so the devil is the card associated with Capricorn. So we see this letting our patterns, letting habits, the out of the ordinary way of doing things get to us. Okay, what I mean by out of the ordinary is just things that are habitual, but they're not doing any service to us. They're not really allowing us to grow. And so with this 10 of Swords, we need to make this change. Let's move our perspective. Let's lose these habits. How about challenging yourself? And I think Capricorn will appreciate this card, because if you want Capricorn to take on a challenge, they will. The thing that they need to contend with is fear. Okay, and not knowing, because they are going outside of a normal habit, of a normal routine of doing things. But this is the way how we think. We need to change the way that we're thinking. Thoughts that can maybe hold us back from moving onward, the way that we see people, how we perceive them. We need to start fresh and to move on. Let's really get to the core of this, Capricorn, if you feel this is affecting you. And let's just remove these painful ways of seeing things, potentially painful. Next card that I have here is the card of Strength. Okay, so this is a fire influence sign ruled by Leo. So this card showing up in this reading here for Capricorn is perfect, because this allows you to find that strength and that vitality that you can challenge this. Okay. What Capricorn may feel apprehensive about, Leo, which rules the Strength card here, depending on what system, 8 can sometimes be associated with the Justice card. But here, this influence, this fiery influence, will allow you to face these different ways of seeing things head on, and know by removing, first off, understanding the root of what's going on, right? Because that's what we have here. We need to see what's going on with these issues, the way that things are being perceived, what needs to be let go of, what you need to put back in. The Strength card will give you that faith. It's that primal inner instinct, knowing that you can overcome this. The mind is very powerful. We can allow it to tell us to do things that we don't want to do, or that you don't care about. You can change that way of thinking as long as you are aware and you can acknowledge what's going on. Okay, so if you catch yourself with unhealthy way of seeing things, perspectives, and stuff like that, find the belief and also the knowledge that you can gain from this by just changing this around. Challenge yourself this month, Capricorn, okay, for changing how you see things. Be honest with yourself, be real, and because of your planet ruler of Saturn, you can have the discipline to do this. It's going to be challenging. Any form of self-change is going to be hard, because no one else can do it for you except you. So I feel that you can, not easily, but you can work through these blocks. Third card that I have here for Capricorn. Okay, also be patient with yourself as well, but keep moving forward. The other card that I have here, the Element of Swords. So this came very, very clear in this reading. Got the Maiden or Page of Swords. So we're seeing the permission, if you will, or the guide. We have the owl. to really move forward with this, to move forward with these changes of ideas and seeing things in a more healthy manner. I'm not saying that Capricorn doesn't see things healthy, but if you are experiencing some thoughts, ideas that just aren't working for you, this is the time to start fresh. Be that person that you know by removing anything from the past, the old way of doing things, and taking a different perspective. Trust and know that this will lead you into maybe a different direction that you weren't expecting. If you really want change, Capricorn, this is where it starts. It's going to start here with, I keep saying the word perception, is how you see things. And we need to move out of that and just turn the view around so that it could benefit you in other ways for yourself, in the way that you work, the way that you interact with people. There's fear that I feel here that needs to be focused on, and be honest with yourself about that. Okay, but this is your guiding card, the Strength card, to allow you to move forward. And getting in touch with this powerful beast who has courage, has no fear. But you're the one that's guiding this. This is the individual. This is you on the outside. This is the energy that's happening inside that needs to be manifested. Alrighty. That's for you, Capricorn. Nothing to fear but fear itself. Okay, so for Taurus, let's see here. Taurus is all about, again, trust, patience. Taurus tends to be more in the tactile realm because they are ruled by Venus. So their connection to comfort is very strong, but they will work hard to get those things that are beneficial to them, that soothes that Venusian side of the Taurus. The Taurus characteristics. Taurus are stubborn, but they're stubborn in the sense that if they want something bad enough, they'll go and get it, if it's attainable. They're realistic, just as Capricorn, Virgo, these are realistic signs. They see things as it is. The earth signs are very direct with what they have to say. They call things out as they see it. Sometimes there's not the right place to call things out, and sometimes that gets signs into trouble, the earth signs. But, if you call things out and you're able to stand your ground on that in a situation, then, you can fare off well in whatever's going on. So let's see Taurus. So Taurus, we have Venusian energy. And then we have Saturn energy for the month of Capricorn. So let's see what we have here. I'll do the same thing, 3 cards. And I'm going to be using the same deck for the earth sign. So the other videos, I will probably change the deck up. You may see another deck that I used already to show up in one of the other readings. Okay. So here is from the heavenly bodies, keywords that I was mentioning about trust, patience, but also beauty. And the earth cards in this deck all stems from the heart. We have the external side of the heart, and then we have the skeletal, the ribs, if you will, of the heart, the innards of the heart, and the beauty that comes from these signs. Here with Capricorn, let's talk about time. And here with Taurus, we have the rose for beauty. All right, Taurus. Okay, so this is for this month of Capricorn. Okay. Okay. First card I got here for Taurus. Okay, so I have 3 cards. This one is in the element of water. The other 2 cards are all different elements, so that's good. I like to see a balance of sorts, even though it's only 3 cards, of elements, like one of each suit in a reading when I do a 3-card reading, because it shows a direction towards balance. So here we have 6 of Cups. I'll move this closer. So here we see a lot going on. Okay, 6 of Cups here. We see offers, we see potential illusions that could be up in front of us. We better be careful how our heart motivates, or how the heart moves towards something that's being shown to us. We see the spider there with the web. The web emphasizes the work, but we also see the transformation of the butterfly, the meaning of transformation with the butterfly. And we also see the feather. We have the fly. And so there is a lot going on here emotionally when it comes to your feelings. What choices are we working with? I think for this month of Capricorn, for Taurus, we can find some sorts of solace with this card ruling the heart and the emotions, moving from that place. But maybe being a little bit more direct with what we're experiencing. Okay. So I mentioned there's opportunities, offers, potentially illusion. I see with this card here, there is a potential for transformation, but there could also be, if the choice isn't taken correctly, more work that needs to be done. The process is still continuing. This could involve healing. This could involve a new situation coming in your way that emotionally will change things and maybe open things up for you. So with these 6 cups that I have here, or that the card has here, if you're finding yourself with different situations that are kind of overwhelming you with with emotionally, take the time, and I think this won't be a problem for Taurus. Just really emotionally look at what's being offered to you and how your heart's feeling. Okay. But really, really pay attention. You can move from the heart, but also be mindful. And we'll explore this with the two other cards. Be mindful as to what the potential outcome is. Emotionally, it's great. We can feel like, oh yeah, this is going to lead me to more money, or this is going to lead me to a long-term relationship, or this is going to lead me to, a trip, or this investment will, put me in. But just think about it. Okay, we could see the outcome of things that are in the material realm, like for Taurus. We can see the benefits of getting something nice, but think about its practicality. Is this something that you really need? Is this something that you really want to put in your life? With the 6 of Cups. Okay, so let's just be careful with this energy during the month of Capricorn. And Capricorn will probably give you that influence of the grounding, which Taurus already has, but really being focused and and being discriminatory, being picky about, what's being offered to you. I think that's really important, and that will help Taurus. Second card that I have here. Oops, excuse me. Have here the Ace of Wands. And it's interesting, when I first saw this card, immediately I saw the colors of red, white, and blue. And because of the energy here, it's a very July 4th feeling kind of card for me, a celebration of sorts. So if the Ace of Wands, taking that kind of initial experience that I felt with this card, we can use this celebratory feeling of starting something new. That's what the Ace of Wands is. All the aces initiate something new based on the suit. The Wands initiates action, change, but you're actually making these changes happen. You're making these steps forward. Creativity, the energy that we're putting towards an intention. So with this card here for the Ace of Wands, we're seeing this. We're seeing that we have the potential to move into something different. And it could be signs that you could be getting already. You may be seeing signs of something that is going to potentially initiate something of a shift, okay? And sometimes these shifts, even though it's wands, the wands isn't necessarily guaranteed it's going to be positive. It could be negative. But the negative is a change that may need to happen, okay? Something needs to be removed, which will initiate the change. It's all these steps. So with this Ace of Wands, perhaps anything that's being offered to you at this time, whatever choice or whichever direction you decide to move with this, how you feel with this, will allow the next step to happen. So one of these choices or whatever you're looking at carefully will open up potentially for something that needs to happen. And I take this reading to heart because I do feel changes happening. I just don't know what it is. So I take this reading, for me, because I am Taurus, as a sign like, okay, something is going to happen. Taurus, we have to be careful, watch for the signs. Okay. And again, if something's too good to be true, take a step back and just reevaluate what's happening, how you feel in your heart. Third card that I have here. Six of Swords. Okay, so we're back to the swords here. I think the Six of Swords goes in line because we have two sixes here with the Six of Cups. And the direction of these swords too are facing downward. They're not in action. They're not moving. It's the six. The sixes I feel within the minor arcana is sort of the transition from the five. The five dealing with coming to a crossroads and challenges, maybe some setbacks. But here we start seeing the ease, especially with the Six of Swords. We're taking this moment to assess the next step, what we're going to do. Okay. We realize that there are some challenges happening within us already. Okay. But we cannot hold on to those things. We need to move on from that. We need to start rationalizing away from the fear and putting more intellect into moving forward with the way that we see things. towards making these changes. But the similarity of energies, here we're seeing, these possibilities. And then here with the Six of Swords, we're seeing, this moment to really reflect upon it. And this is beautiful because if I put this card here, let's do it like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if we really take this moment, we can actually connect a little bit more to the higher conscious side of things and just focusing on this energy of the cosmos. So for me, I would take this card more as a spiritual, intellectual way of seeing things. Think about long-term wise, the choice or choices you will make, how they're going to benefit you. The same here. Ace of Wands, the actions that we're going to take, be mindful of where they could be leading you to. Okay, and this is the beginning stages, so anything can come in and change that. But at this point, we are looking at a careful, slow, mindful way of approaching with these forces, moving from the heart to the mind, and then with the mind, how we put these thoughts into action. So have to watch out for that. So this will be interesting. So again, this is for the month of Capricorn. So this will be from December 21st to January 19th. Okay, this is what the readings are for that time frame. Doesn't necessarily mean that these that the reading that I'm doing will happen, but it's just the energy that you can apply towards what's going on at this time. Okay, so there we have it, Taurus. Okay, next up is Virgo. Virgo is mutable. Mutable means they're flexible, they're adaptable to different situations. They can work and see things in a way that can allow them to move forward, but in their own way. And I'll show you the card here. So again, ruling earth, we have the heart with the flowers, but look up here, we have the wings, very angelic. And the key words we have here, integrity, reverence, and being of service. Virgos love to be there for people. They like to see what they can do to help out in a situation. I think one of the careers that works good for Virgos is being healthcare workers, because this allows them to work with other people who may be in need. As I mentioned, one of the common things that comes up with Virgo is that they are not persistent, but they are very persnickety, different from the stubbornness of Taurus, but they're very persnickety with how things need to be done. So they really look at something. They look at the situation. They look inside out. They want to know as much detail as possible. And once they find that information, they are able to proceed in their own way. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so they are more in the mindset of the element of earth. So they're very practical. They're looking for things that aren't, too much fluff or anything. It's like, just let's get what we need and let's just work with that. And we can remedy or at least lessen a situation that could be challenging so that they can continue moving forward. And Virgo is also associated with the Virgin. So it's taking a very simple perspective on things. Simple but detailed. to help Virgo move forward and to understand better what's going on. All right, Virgo, 3 cards for you. All righty. Let's see what we got here. Again, this is for the month of Capricorn. Oh. All right. So Virgo, I got 2 cards that are in the realm of Earth. They're both pentacles. And then the other card I have is with the energy of fire. It's wands. So Virgo looks like for the month of Capricorn, looks like it's going to be very productive and it's going to produce some wonderful results. First card I have here for you, the 9 of Pentacles. How beautiful this card is. So we're seeing choices, paying attention to what's needed, details, and putting what is necessary and what is needed to fulfill a situation. And we're seeing this here with the 9 of Pentacles. We're seeing all the effort, all the work, all the right choices put into a situation, put into something where it is flourishing. This can also be involving you if you're feeling like that you've been doing some changes within yourself and you're starting to see these benefits for you. Keep doing it, because it shows right here that you are heading in the right direction. And if you're not, this could also apply to a project that you're working on. But if not, this card is assigned to emphasize this. It's a reminder of what maybe you haven't been putting energy and effort in to help heal, to help strengthen, to help flourish a situation or something within yourself. Okay, so that's what the 9 of Pentacles, we want to start seeing. And this works really well with Virgo because their specificness of things, having things done in a way a little bit more controlling. They know it's in their best interest. They know by tightening the reins, if you will, and exploring things a little bit further, they know it's going to benefit them or it's going to benefit the situation because they know how to handle it. They know how to work through it. So with this 9 of Pentacles, Virgo, keep going with it. Okay. Like I said, if there's any changes that you've been doing, keep moving forward because you're on the right path. And interesting enough, the next card I have here is the 8 of Pentacles. So we're seeing the buildup. We're seeing the transformation that is already starting to take shape because of the work that you've put in. And the trust in yourself. And knowing, like, I know what I'm doing. This makes sense. This is so right. We start seeing this. We start seeing the abundance coming back to you. It doesn't have to be great. If it is, perfect. But also look at the key, our key animal guide here. We have the moth. Transformation physically, spiritually, and mentally. It all starts working from within. Now, I said in my one of my earlier videos for Capricorn that sometimes people do changes from the outside in. They know they need a change, but they don't know exactly where to go about it. So sometimes a physical change, working out, change of wardrobe, cutting hair, I need to do hair color, anything like that. Something that will make you feel more confident, more strong, and that change will start coming in internally. But I also feel that when you start feeling there's a change, there's already that internal side of you that's like, okay, something's going to happen, so let's start making it work. So if you haven't gotten to that 9 of Pentacles yet, this 8 of Pentacles, Virgo, is a card that is definitely leading you in the right direction. So for the month of Capricorn, with that influence of Earth and Saturn, if you remain steadfast and dedicated, it's the same thing, but really focused on a particular thing that you feel so much about, you're going to start seeing, if not already, the shifts happening. If it's not you directly, it could be something, a project that you're working with, or a relationship that may need a change, but potentially for the better. The other card that I have here, look at this, Knight of Wands. This is actually ruled by the planet Sagittarius, but the Knight of Wands here with the fox is of being sly, tricky in a sense, but also being observant of where they are and their environment, and making movements, taking action that's best suited for that environment. We see here a sense of like, oh yes, freedom, liberation, expressive, adventurous we have here. So with the Knight of Wands in relation to Virgo, I'm not going to emphasize so much the Sagittarian energy because we're focusing on Capricorn, but we're seeing this self-evolving that's going on. Okay, so we'll go back to these cards. Okay, so we're making these steps to start flourishing and nourishing a situation for the better, putting more care into it, being more mindful. The steps before the 9 of Pentacles, you're already starting to move in a direction of transformation. You're putting your thoughts, your actions in the right direction, and things are starting to happen. So when you start getting that, okay, and you get to that point where it's like, yes, I knew this is where I needed to be. It's almost self-congratulatory, but not in an ego sense, but in a sense that, you trusted your instincts, you made the choices, you took the right actions, but you also took chances, okay? The Knight of Wands is a free-spirited, it's also a mutable sign, so it needs that play to explore, and I feel by having these shifts take place, you start feeling this confidence. And confidence is not restrictive. Confidence is expanding. Okay. But we also have to watch out with the Knight of Wands. Okay. You start feeling this liberation and that things are moving the right direction. But don't get too overly confident. Okay. You don't want to get caught in the moment of things that are happening. Stay with Capricorn, remember, stay focused, remain on that path, still utilize this energy of, it's like, okay, this is good, but get a grip, come down a little bit, get back to your footing, and continue moving forward. So this liberation, this freedom of expression, let's not be so outwardly with it, like too much with it. Let's internalize it, keep it within, and feel that energy that you have once putting it inside. Feel that energy into where you're putting all your work into. Put that excitement, that enthusiasm into what you are changing, what you are creating. And that would be of a very strong benefit for Virgo. So Virgos, Capricorn, the month of Capricorn looks good if you are moving in this direction of transformation, changes, putting all your faith and belief into something that you're working with. Keep that energy going, okay? But don't get too overly, happy when you start seeing results and like, oh yeah. Let's put that energy inward. You could share it with a few people, but let's remain focused. Let's use the influence of Capricorn for this month as that influence of remaining grounded and focused. Okay, so there you have it, Virgo. So I'm not going to recap because I've already been talking for over a half hour, 45 minutes. So we see some challenges that are going on with Capricorn and Taurus, but it's more or less pacing how to work through these different situations. And Capricorn to remain very, very much in their ethic of remaining disciplined and focused towards what they're working towards. Okay, but again, we don't want to get too lost with fear and letting that overshadow of what needs to be done. And I think with Capricorn, they can handle that as long as they're being honest with themselves. And Taurus, the same thing applies. Take the time to really assess what's going on, these opportunities that could be coming your way emotionally. You're feeling a lot. Let's ease into these changes little by little, okay? And trust and know, remember, use that strength card as that form of guidance. I think that was for Capricorn, actually. Alrighty, so there you have it. So those are the readings for the earth signs for the month of Capricorn, the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I will timestamp these so that you can watch the video or watch the part in the video that associates with your sign. This can also be applied to your moon and rising sign if you want to do that. You're more than welcome to combine these readings if they fall out of your sun sign and more in your moon or rising. Alrighty, so next up will be the readings for the air signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And any questions, of course, feel free to leave comments. You can reach me on my website. And I've already made a few announcements of my Intro to Tarot Astrology. I have a 20% discount on my Wheel of the Year readings if you are interested in that. So feel free to take a look at the website. And if you'd like me to do a reading, I am here for you. Have a wonderful day, evening, everyone. And air signs, you are next.